for me?
I do not.
Okay.
Move forward.
You want to pick one real quick?
Okay, yeah, sure. We'll go...
Top the dome?
We'll go 17-13. Something
right.
like that, yeah.
I like that. Real quick, imagine being the Chicago Bears and trading up to draft Mitch Trubisky and missing out on Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson in that same draft. Imagine how sick that GM got to be. Is he still the GM, the guy that did that?
I have no idea, but
you should just fire yourself at that point, right?
That's Buffalo Bills level and Cleveland Browns level of taking the wrong quarterback there.
Wow,
that's tough, man. It's
fucking might as well draft Brandon Whedon.
That's tough. I even remember everyone saying at the time that was an odd move that they did that.
Yeah, where did he come from? Like, who was talking about Trubisky?
I don't remember. I don't remember there any big chatter about him at all, and then suddenly he leapt over Mahomes and Watson. I remember them saying that it wasn't a particularly strong QB class, and then all of a sudden here we are with Mahomes and Watson.
Which I didn't understand as well, because Watson fucking just bust Alabama ass that year in the national championship game and was busting ass all season. I didn't know much about Patrick Mahomes myself, but damn. You gotta, that's what you hire scouts for. That's what your GM's supposed to do. You got to figure that shit out. They did a terrible job with that one.
Yeah, man. I think that for whatever reason, quarterback analysis is probably about the hardest job on the planet. I think, all these guys that are paid big bucks to do exactly what you said there, go out there and scout, give their best opinions, inform the GM. They're looking at so much film and all these interviews that they have with these kids and all these tests like the Wonderlic and all that, and it's just hard to put your finger on what guy has that it factor, what guy is going to blossom into something. It's interesting. I love seeing a couple of things. I love seeing highly touted guys bust. I think that's a lot of fun. And I love seeing guys come out of nowhere to be successful. So, Trubisky, that sucks for the Bears, man.
Yeah, but it is some of those quarterbacks. You just got to know Watson. What he did against Alabama in that SEC, in the ACC himself. Like, come on, man. Like, come on. Oh well, sucks to be Chicago. Next game up, Pittsburgh at Cincinnati. Pittsburgh is favorites -6.5. Division rivalry. Over under 39.5. Division rivalry. Cincinnati has yet to get a W. They are tanking. Is it still tanking for Tua? Because right now my man got a dislocated hip, broken hip, whatever. He's out for the season, so maybe they're not tanking for Tua no longer. But I don't know how to feel about this game. I don't like Rudolph. I like Pittsburgh's defense. Cincinnati is bad. But I feel like they're just in desperation mode to kind of get a win before the end of this season. They're at home. It's a division game. They know Pittsburgh like the back of their hand. Pittsburgh's going to win. Yeah, I can't talk myself into Cincinnati.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to talk yourself into the Cincinnati Bengals victory there. They're going to win eventually, you'd have to think. So maybe it's this week. Is Rudolph playing this week? He ended up with no suspension from
I don't think he got
turmoil?
suspended, but I think he's going to get fined, is what they're saying.
Okay.
I think he might catch a fine.
Okay, yeah. So barring any helmet-swinging incidents, I don't think the Cincinnati Bengals have a chance. Although, if there's a week, it's with Mason Rudolph at quarterback. Juju is out. Connor is out. So we're going to see some Jalen Samuels and some... Was it Deontay Washington or something like that over there with Pittsburgh? So if there's a week where Cincinnati could pull off a win, those divisional games are usually nuts, especially in the AFC North. At home, again, I said all those things, and I like Pittsburgh too.
All right, so I got a question for you. I'm looking at the Cincinnati schedule right now. So these are the remaining 6 games. They got Pittsburgh on Sunday. They got New York and Cincinnati. They at Cleveland, home against the Patriots, at Miami, home against the Browns. What game would you bet money on the most that they would win?
Well, you'd have to think the Miami game looks pretty favorable, although they saw...
It's in Miami, and Miami plays hard.
Miami does play hard.
Miami plays tough.
Flores has those boys playing hard, I'll tell you that. I've seen them play twice this season now, and they don't... The players are not tanking there, right? The management has put them in every position to fail this year, but they themselves are certainly not tanking. Flores has him playing hard. I don't love all of his play calling all the time, but he certainly seems to have those guys rallied, and they've played some good football lately. But you'd still, on paper, you would think that that's Cincinnati's best shot at winning, although they saw the Miami Dolphins strategy at tanking, and they said, hold my beer, bro, because they have they have a whole new level of suck here at 0-10. So should be interesting down the stretch for Cincinnati. I don't think they get their first win here, but who knows? Maybe they'll surprise everybody and get a win.
Yeah, we'll see. You got a score?
Score? I still don't. We're doing these off the top of my head here, so let's make it fun, and let's say Pittsburgh wins 27-24.
Wow. Okay, I got way opposite of you. I got Pittsburgh winning, but I got 13-6.
Oh, that kind of low-scoring game?
I don't like both offenses. Both offenses are bad. Pittsburgh defense is solid. I think that they would. I wouldn't be surprised if Pittsburgh's only touchdown comes from like a Minka Fitzpatrick pick 6.
How many points did you say Pittsburgh was going to score?
13.
I think if we got me, you, and 9 of our biggest friends, we could score that many points on Cincinnati. So I think they're going to put up a little bit more than that. But yeah, it should be a Pittsburgh W.
Rudolph is bad. He's not good.
Yeah, he's also my least favorite reindeer. So it's a mess there. Yeah, I can't believe nobody in that entire mess made one reindeer pun the entire time. He took that helmet to the dome. Nothing, not a one. So,
respect, man. I'm glad you brought it up. All right, moving forward, man. We got Miami at Cleveland. Cleveland are big favorites, -10.5, over under 44.5.
That may actually be the tightest spread that Miami's looked at all season. Actually, at 10.5. To be honest, I remember they must have been driving the bookies crazy early in the year with those 22-point spreads. Looked like a college, D1 team playing a D3 school or something like that. But
right.
This game, Cleveland should win this. You just look at it, and I'm going to go up and down this list, and I'm going to say, the favorite should win this one, right? I mean, that's kind of how it goes. I don't see any big surprises here. I think that every once in a while, when you don't have the greatest roster, sometimes talent just makes the difference. And I think Cleveland, when we're looking at it on paper, has way more talent than Miami this year. A little side note, Miami just got rid of Walton, the running back. He was out there.
Yeah, he punched his pregnant girlfriend or something, or pregnant lady. I don't know if it's his girlfriend or not, but she's pregnant.
Well, only in the stomach, so that is not a good look.
He might be done for it. That might be his career. He's done.
I would have to think. I mean, you look at it, and Kareem Hunt kicked that perfectly healthy young lady, just barely in a hallway, and he was out for quite a while. So I'd have to think punching a pregnant lady, that might just about do it.
He fought 2 people.
Yeah, it's over. It's over. 1A and 1B. He is done. Stick a fork in him. But yeah, man, this Cleveland game, I think.
I'm sorry.
I think this is a battle of 2 teams that don't have much of a playoff shot. They still say that there's hope in Cleveland because their schedule down the stretch is terrible. But yeah, I do not believe in that. So probably Cleveland by 10. Cleveland by 10. We'll call it 30-20.
You know what, man? Cleveland may be the more talented team on paper, but they don't got the heart that Miami do.
No?
Miami's been playing hard. I like Fitzpatrick. And I got this as my upset of the week. I feel like Fitzmagic is gonna happen, man. Fitzmagic is gonna happen in this fucking game. And they're gonna rally behind that guy punching that lady. Well, nah.
That's gonna rally the troops. They're gonna rally behind that.
Like Flores is gonna get his team going. Like, yo, we don't do this shit. This is what happened. He made an example of him, and he's gonna rally that team. Miami's gonna win this game. I'm going out on a limb. I think Baker's gonna make a lot of mistakes. Well, they're gonna get blown out. You know what? I'm gonna roll with it, man. Give me Miami. I'm going to pick a score of 24-21 Miami.
Okay, nice tight game Miami's way.
Miami pull this off, man. And that kind of puts the final dagger in Cleveland and their playoff hopes. Myles Garrett is done for the season. That's a huge hit to their pass rush.
That's actually in all that little diatribe that you just did, there was the first good point you made that whole time. You were looking for some kind of a provocative upset in there. You
was digging.
You were wringing all the water you could out of that rock.
They do play hard though. I mean, Miami plays tough.
Oh, they do play tough.
They really do.
I wouldn't be entirely surprised if somehow Miami beats Cleveland. But
if they can hang into it until the end, I think they can take the will of Cleveland. If like Cleveland's going to be at that point where they just can't put them away, and Miami just fights and then gets a fucking field goal to win it.
Yeah, I mean that is why you play the game. Turnovers can be a thing. Special teams can be a thing. The only reason Miami was even close with Buffalo was 2 huge special teams plays, right? A kick return for a touchdown and a recovered onside kick. That was kind of a cool surprise play. But again, I think what you said that I really liked there was that I wasn't really thinking about is that the Browns will be missing 2 members of their defensive line, because I think that Ogunjobi or whomever his name was,
the D tackle,
he's also out for this one. So if you can't put pressure on Fitzpatrick, that plays right into in his hands. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say he's a little bit less than mobile. So if he can just stand still and get that beard behind the throw, maybe there's something there. But you got to still like Cleveland.
Man, Fitzmagic, bring it home, baby.
Yeah.
I believe in you. Next game up, Carolina, New Orleans. New Orleans is the favorites, -9.5, 47.5 spread here. Christian McCaffrey's having an MVP caliber season. The kid Allen, their quarterback, has played better than a lot of people expected. Carolina currently are sitting at 5-5. Still have slim playoff hopes, but at this point, it's pretty much over. Like in the NFC, it's pretty much locked up at this point. We just kind of get seeding. But I think New Orleans pretty much are going to win this game, I believe. Michael Thomas is a fucking monster. I don't think anybody's going to be able to cover that. Drew Brees, I think, is going to just pick away this Carolina defense all game. Honestly, I think New Orleans can cover this spread or cover the 9.5. I think they can win this game like 35 to like 17.
Yeah, I think so too. I was honestly, when I was preparing myself for one of those scores that I'm supposed to give at the end of these things, and I was thinking right along the same lines, like 35-20 or something like that. Mm-hmm. I think the Saints are just too much, and the Panthers have fallen apart. There were some glimmers of hope with Kyle Allen when he first took over early on. I think there was a stat where Kyle Allen was like 4-0 or something like that, and Cam had just lost their last 7.
Yeah.
But that all kind of came down to earth recently. And despite maybe, arguably the 2 best position players, the 2 best skill players being involved in this game, like you already talked about, McCaffrey and Thomas, I think the Saints just kind of walk away with this one, especially at home.
I never thought I'd see the day a white running back would be like the best running back in the NFL. This does not feel like 1940 no more. Like, it's crazy.
You obviously never saw me play in high school.
It's crazy, man. Like, I remember, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit biased on Christian McCaffrey because obviously his skin color, and you just don't see that in the NFL nowadays. Like, you don't see white running backs dominate. But sure enough, man, he is a fucking beast, man. I got to give credit where credit's due.
There were some viral pictures that were going around before the season started of what this kid looked like before the season started.
I seen those,
and I'll tell you what, it's hard to argue there. Those guys that put in the work in the offseason, we're going to talk about one of them a little bit later. I've got some points on your boy there in Baltimore, my boy Lamar Jackson, what he did in the offseason. But yeah, McCaffrey, you can just tell the guy put in the work, and it's paying off. He's awesome. He's got an NFL pedigree. His entire family is athletic, and his dad a receiver for the Broncos for quite a few years, Ed McCaffrey.
Mm-hmm.
And kid's awesome, but he's not enough. He's not enough, and New Orleans wins handily.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so next game up here. Now we're starting to really get some of the games here that have some huge playoff implications. One being Oakland. They still are right there with Kansas City for that division in the AFC West. So right now they're traveling to New York, and New York are the underdogs there. New York Jets, by the way. Oakland -3.5. Over under is 46.5. The Raiders, I recorded an episode a couple of days ago, and I had to tip my hat to John Gruden and that Raiders organization. Think about all the shit that they've been through. Like, they traded Khalil Mack for 2 first-round picks. They got rid of a franchise player. They was able to trade for Antonio Brown, sign him to a huge extension, and then literally cut him the week of the NFL season beginning, and had to go through that whole turmoil. And then, even through all that, these motherfuckers are right there to win this division. Like, they're right neck and neck with Kansas City, and they're sitting at 6-4. Kansas City's on their bye week, so they can win this game and be a game and a half or a half a game behind Kansas City. Hats off to John Gruden. Hats off to Mike Mayock, the GM. They kept this team together, and I like Oakland. I like this team a lot, man. I think that they can definitely go into the Jets. And the Jets is just, they're just a messy organization. Like Adam Gase, I don't like him at all. Fucking Sam Darnold, I never thought he was good. I don't trust California quarterbacks. Like any quarterback that comes from a California school, I think they're going to be trash besides Aaron Rodgers. I like Oakland in this game, honestly, man. I like the defense. I like the running game. I like the running back. And I think they can win this